Welcome back, Nick Lenz. Comic Corner Classics slash Non-Classics. Episode number 1042 and Doubleshot number 936. I got two more trades like I mentioned. First up, it is the final trade of one particular writer's run. This is Miss Marvel Volume 10, Time and Again. Yeah, I say this is the finale. It's the finale for G. Willow Wilson's run for Miss Marvel. Yeah, these issues are the final issues she wrote for the series before she jumped DC to do Wonder Woman, where she's also currently leaving the book to do something else. Yep. In case you're curious, though, what happens in the issue? 31 is basically the 50th issue of Kamala Khan. Congratulations for hitting that far. This actually came out I think it was last year, I think it was. Yep, the whole point of this issue is basically Camilla dealing with, just basically do some crime fighting, how else have a slumber party. Oh yeah, apparently her father has got no problem with a bunch of teenage girls staying at his house. As long as they're friends of his daughters. He has no problem with it. Yep. She also admits to her friends that she's Miss Marvel. And, well, they already knew. Yeah. But they wanted her to admit it, which she did. And they also have a human pops up in the issue. Apparently her power is stink. She makes stuff smell. And she's also the pizza delivery girl. Though she delivered a bunch of pizzas, though she basically ruined a whole bunch of them. All because she doesn't like her powers. I mentioned something about Terrigen Mist, which happened at the start of the series. But yeah, good stuff when it comes to that. And it's a really heartwarming story. The next three issues is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel versus Shocker. Yep, fights the Shocker, a Spider-Man villain. She also runs into Singularity for the first time that she's actually been in a comic book since 2016. Yes, I think these issues came out, I believe it was last year, I think it was. Yeah, last year. Yeah, at the time these issues came out last year, it had been 2 years since her last appearance. Yeah, those who know who Singularity is, she's the creation of I believe it was, no, it wasn't Kelly Thompson, it was, I think it was G. Willow Wilson when she first appeared in the A-Force limited series for Secret Wars, and eventually led to an ongoing series that got axed after 10 issues. After that, she wasn't seen again for quite a while. And then she shows up here because Kamala Khan, I think, as far as G. Willow Wilson did read that book too, and she did create this character, so why not bring the character back, which of course was really good. Of course, next few issues basically dealing with Camilla's romance with Bruno. She actually does, I think Bruno finally admits to her that he does love her. I'm like, okay, what happened to his girlfriend he had? Maybe broke up with her, I have no idea. Yep. But that's really the whole thing with the last two issues, basically her dealing with Bruno's feelings for her, and it's overall really good set of issues, all some fantasy stuff. Also, I should point out the whole thing, him revealing that he loved her, that happened in a Shocker storyline. Also, during the Shocker storyline, she apparently is having to her powers weren't exactly working, but she was just shrinking for no reason. Her arms were giving out. Yeah, it was just really odd of a storyline. But of course, the last issue was written by a boatload of people. Actually, it was issue 31. It was written by a lot of people. G. Willow Wilson wrote the first 5 pages, 11 to 12, 19 to 20, and 26 to 30. You have Saad Ahmad, who actually takes over the book with the relaunch. This person, I think it's a guy, writes the book currently, does pages 6 through 10. You have Robin Rao does issues 13 and 18, and Hassan Majan does issues 21 25. The artwork in here is done in this first issue 31 was done by 4 different artists. Nico Leon, Gustavo Dorotti, Bob Quinn, and Emilio Banacchi. I think it's right. Nico Leon also is the artwork for issues 30 to 37. And the final issue is written also by multiple different art writers. Besides Drew Wells, you have Devin Grayson. Yes, Devin Grayson. Good writer, I still don't care for Nightwing 93. Eve L. Ewing, who is the current writer for Ironheart, which I heard rumored is ending soon. Jim Zeb, who was the recent writer for Uncanny Humans. And, of course, Saad Ahmad, who actually gets the book right after this one. The cover art is done by Valerio Sanati, who was the artist for the Tony Stark Iron Man series. This, of course, is really good. Give this book a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts on G. Willow Wilson's run. It's great, though, that she got a chance to end the book on a good note. She wrote 58 issues, which she was in the book for almost 5 years, which you don't hear many writers in book that long anymore. It's rare. But there's nothing really wrong with her run. Not really, no. And one thing I do appreciate, though, by the most recent issue of the book, under Magnificent Miss Marvel, is that they keep the artist. They replace the writer, but at least to keep the same artist because, well, people do like the artist, so why replace her? Replace the artist for a book. Alright, next up, it is a Star Wars book. Star Wars, Mace Windu, Jedi Republic. This contains a 5-issue miniseries by Matt Owens. Artwork by Dennis Cowan and he also have Edgar Salazar. That's issue 4. The cover is by Guru FX. I think it's pronounced that. Yeah. What's the plot for this particular series? It's basically Mace Windu on a mission for the Republic during the Clone Wars. Yes, by far the first and so far only comic book limited series published by Marvel under the new canon that is set during the Clone Wars. Yep. It's all about Mace Windu and her apprentice along with Fisto. Yeah, he appears in here too. He's the guy with the multiple hair, the long green hair. Let me show him here. He actually appears like almost all the issues of the series. And here he is. This is him right here. That's Fisto. We also have this guy called Dibs. Yeah, that's really the guy's name. This woman here, this pink skin woman, that's actually Mace's apprentice. Yeah, I've never seen her, and I don't think she appeared after this. Yeah, just basically go on a mission. There's even a flashback to years prior to the events of Phantom Menace, where you see Mace as an apprentice dealing with a guy who basically some arrogant guy who took over a Jedi temple, not the main one, a Jedi temple on another planet, and they eventually toppled the guy. And at one point, Mace was contemplating killing the guy right in the spot, but his master stopped him. His master was a beautiful woman at the time. I know what happened to her, though. No. And in case you're wondering, does Mace Windu when he's younger, does he have hair? The answer is yes, he does. Like, oh my gosh, he does. Now, there's this Roe appears in the series. The way he speaks, it's kind of similar to this guy in the past. It's completely unknown if this really is him or not. Yeah, they don't really explain. Here's his master. I think it says Crystalline Meyer. And yes, this here, that is Mace Windu. Young Mace Windu. And as you can see, he has hair. Just like when Samuel Jackson was younger, he had hair. Yep. And of course, well, this guy called Dibs, that's really the guy's name, he turns against Mace Windu and eventually he gets arrested for what he did. And his punishment, confinement to the library. Yep. Not really big noteworthy story. It's somewhat forgettable as it is. And Mace Windu is a cool character, but I was kind of a little bit more here. It's an interesting little miniseries, and I do like Fisto's comedy in here. He's somewhat hilarious in here. Like, he just goes to the room and just happens to come across a bunch of stormtroopers like, well, I'm going to have fun slicing, dicing these stormtroopers. That's the most funny thing about the series is that Fisto has fun battling a bunch of battle droids. Yep. I'm going to give this book roughly a 8 out of 10. It's an okay story. It's barely above average. What to say something now, unlike the main Star Wars book at the time this was published, this one had much better artwork. Oh gosh, yes. And I keep wondering, like, okay. Now I'm glad the fact the book finally has much better artwork. First time in a couple years we have a good, decent artist in the book. Well, I can't have this artist sooner. That's my question for another time. But yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have probably about one more video due today, and I'm hoping to review the next 5 episodes, do a Card Captor Soccer review. Aside from that, there's like nothing else I plan to do today for reviews wise. Tomorrow, at least 2 that I can think of. That'll be My Hero Academia, the newest chapter in the manga, and the newest episode of Fire Force. Okay, do this next view. Bye.